Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. And remember, this show, especially this show, is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. This is our side quest chat. You'll see myself, Wabba Plays Court, and we are also joined by our friend Vince Grogan from Outright Games, specifically the newly launched Bluey game.
Thanks for having me on Three Dads and a Console.
It really is.
We're rocking the Stumpfest fit.
I did notice that. That's super cool.
Like we all have our favorite characters and our favorite episodes, and I've been saying it for years. It's kind of interesting. When Disney Plus first came here to Canada, the show came on, and I remember messaging on the internet, and Wabba was one of the first people to be like, "Oh my god, it's the greatest show on television." And I was like, "I know." Like I don't know what it is. It's almost like it's like The Simpsons without, because it has jokes and themes for parents, but it also has stuff for kids, and it's I don't know what it is about people from Australia that make television shows for kids, because they somehow make the best on television over and over. It's the one show that my daughter can watch, and I'm like, well, that's not annoying. She can continue to watch it. Some shows I'm like, please don't watch that again, please.
I think that's it. I think we've all just felt that, especially like as parents. You know, the things you see in the show, they're just like, oh, you know, it's kind of like good stand-up comedy, right? When someone like says something that you've thought for ages and you're like, yes, exactly that. And I think that pulls through. And then obviously, you know, we've all had that conversation with people that don't have kids, would be like, you should watch this show still. Like, come on, like it's not just but and then as you say, yeah, just the family time that you get together. I think it's that brilliant thing that a show brings you, is about a family coming together and you know, having great experiences, and that improves your family experience and time together. You're like, wow, this is just great. It's all good things.
Plus, he puts up a dad image that none of us can live to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it.
Except in season 3, it's like they almost like listen to everybody. Like, he is way too much. They're like, well, you know what? We're going to give him flaws in season 3. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Can you share with us your title and position at Outright for folks who may not know?
Yeah, so I'm another one of the production directors at Outright Games. And I work with our group of producers on the publishing side at Outright Games to kind of make the games happen. We work very closely with our very talented team of developers that do all the hard work, do all the, you know, all the interesting stuff, all the really technical stuff. But yeah, we make sure that it runs as smoothly as it can, or yeah, doing it from the start to the finish and getting everything that they would need to make the game happen. So yeah, we're looking at Outright. We've got like another team of producers that are directed by Chris Rose, like my kind of colleague, and then Lois Doyle's our head of production. And yeah, we like help all our teams like make the games that everyone seems to be enjoying.
What are some other Outright projects that you've worked on?
Before Bluey, I've been at Outright Games now like 2.5 years, I think now. Yeah, coming up to 3. So yeah, first jumped onto the Fast and Furious Spy Races game. Love that. It was just such a great, fun arcade racing experience. We Dragons of the Nine Realms as well. Legends of the Nine Realms, the game with a heart full of games. Yeah, really, really great, enjoyable adventure. And then this year, Paw Patrol Racer Grand Prix, Paw Patrol Grand Prix. And this year we've done Gigantosaurus kart racing, Baby Shark, and Swim Sing, and Paw Patrol World was one of our big ones this year as well. And then our other team, Chris and the other team produced all the other great games that have come out this year as well, like the Grinch and Jumanji, Earthspark. Great, yeah, I love that. Great, that was a great title this year as well. So yeah, we've been really lucky to work across so many great brands and IPs. And the big ones for us this year was obviously Bluey, but yeah, Paw Patrol World as well was already.
I've already been making the joke that, the entries for the Game Awards were, I believe,
Yeah.
today, and I'm like, "Well, the game comes out on
Well,
Friday,"
I
and I
guess
joke on the social media all the time. I'm like, "Well, doesn't matter what game wins Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate, or whatever it wants to do, the biggest game of the year is coming out on November 17th."
absolutely, yeah, would have been great to be on those lists, but yeah,
Hey,
we
hey,
know,
hey,
yeah,
you're on our list. It's
exactly.
interesting.
That's what we.
My daughter's having her, sleepover this weekend with a friend.
Oh, you're.
And I
Yeah.
so my daughter says to her friend, she's like, "We can play the Bluey game this weekend." I'm like, "Oh, there you go." I'm like, "There you go." So
That's
that's
it.
what she wants to do with her friend. I'm like, "Well, just as long as you get the platinum, honey, it's no big deal. Get the
Yeah,
TV."
that's it. That's it. That's the list that we want to be on. That's the one that we care about. Is the Christmas wish list and the birthday wish list, and everyone that kid's wish list is more
Well,
important to us for
there's
sure.
about to be 20 kids watching my daughter play this game, so
Stop
it's gonna be a
watching. They
giant
don't get to prove
advertisement on the
themselves.
weekend
Yeah.
at my house, so
Hey, well, some of them can join in, so that's great.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because my daughter was already asking questions. I was like, "That's fine. It's fine. We have questions we're gonna ask." My daughter's like, "But I have questions."
So it sounds like you've been a big fan of Bluey for a while. What was going on in your mind when Outright got access to the IP?
Yeah, like I think as soon as especially coming into Outright Games and looking at the brands that we've had the pleasure of working with, I think it was just like number one priority. Just like we need to do this. It's going to be huge. And the great thing was we just saw it, at that peak of just going up and up and up. Like we kind of I've been quite an early adopter, I'd say, from like season one stuff. So, but yeah, that was idea. I think everyone just says it. You just see it and you think this would make such a fantastic video game. The way that the interaction of the parents, the characters, the four characters. We just thought that makes the perfect like 4-player co-op experience. That we wanted to bring to the game. The locations, the dialogue, the way they interact, the games as well that we've also got in the game as well. Yeah, it was just it was made for us really to just take and try and get it to that standard of the show. That was that was our aim. As soon as we saw it, we knew that's what we wanted to do.
How close did you work with the makers of the show then? If you're trying like because let's be for the people that don't know what Bluey is, and obviously if you're watching this video, you do. The the content that they put out is next level. I would call it S tier television. Like it's the
Yeah,
best thing you can watch on Disney Plus. For here in North America, that's how we get to watch it. Everybody I
yeah.
know in the UK and everywhere else, they get it before us. That's fine. You all get to watch it before we do. And there's even like I guess like a half an hour 28-minute version coming out in like a couple days. A little bit excited about that. But how close did you work with them so that you could, I guess, almost make the game part of the canon, right?
That's what we hope everyone that's what we set out to try and do. But we'll see what what everyone's reactions is so far to where it kind of sits. We wanted to continue a story and have it feel exactly like it was. You were interacting with the TV show, and yeah, for the question, yeah, we were incredibly lucky to work really closely with both the BBC, who are one of the partner with Ludo. And Ludo Studios in Australia. So yeah, the kind of history of TV coming from Australia to the UK is like a well-run thing. Like as you mentioned before, so many great shows in Australian television and kids programs, and then like the classic dramas that were just huge in the UK, especially when I was growing up. So we knew it was huge in the UK, right? But then just to see it explode worldwide then as well was fantastic. But yeah, we got to work with Ludo really closely. They really opened up the doors to us, gave us everything we'd need to try and capture that magic source that makes it what it is. In the game, we've got all the original UK voice cast, so we were able to get them in the door and in the VO studios. So even with the time difference, we were like, yeah, we're going to be there and sit in those sessions and see Dave and Mel do the voice. Got to sit in those. It was fantastic, those voice sessions. And then yeah, the rest of the cast as well are all the original cast. We got access to Dan Brum as well, who does the sound effects, who's also the voice of Stripe. He's the audio designer at Ludo, so got help from him in terms of getting the sounds right in the game and getting those checked and signed off. And we've also been able to use some of Josh Bush's original music as well as some of our own as well, to kind of fill out the rest of the title. But so yeah, we were just so incredibly lucky that they opened the door, they let us get access into all those, and then along the whole way of just the one of the biggest parts that we got to work with them was the story. So yeah, we had the decision about whether we recreate old episodes, which I think everyone would love, or try and create something new, and we've kind of like done a bit of both in a really great way. So we've got this brand new story, brand new adventure that you can play through 4, like, we've separated one big story into 4 episodes. So there's an overarching story running through the whole game. You'll play that through 4 episodes. That was written in partnership with Ludo. We got access to one of their script writers, Claire Renton. And we worked with them to like lay out the scope, lay out with Artax and, doing the game design and Ludo doing the script. We merged together this great story with loads of fun interaction elements, bringing all our knowledge of video games and what we feel children and parents and even, older players would want to kind of do in the world with this cool new story. So as you play through the story, you'll hit these beats that will seem really familiar or, references. In every episode, you learn a game. So in the first episode, not too much of a spoiler, you learn Keepy Uppy. You might have seen that in the trailer already. Yeah. So in the first episode, part of that episode is playing a bit of Keepy Uppy, but also then continuing on the rest of the adventure. After that episode, you can then play Keepy Uppy around everywhere else in the house. And that's like the formula that we have for the rest of the game. So you'll play an episode and then unlock a new game as you keep going, and you'll end up then, after you've completed the story, you've got all the locations, all the games that you've unlocked along the way to keep playing. You can revisit the episodes and play them again, or you can, just carry on in this like open world, open environments that we have in the game for you to go and explore and find loads of other things that you might have not spotted or collected the first time through.
I play Raiders in my house with my daughter to this day, and same with like, there's so much of the TV show becomes part of your daily life.
Exactly,
and, like,
yeah.
just this question, like, my daughter was like, "Well, it's like a new episode." I'm like, "Oh, no, that's exactly what it is." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, so this is like, I'm gonna have a secret episode that everybody's gonna," like, I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be amazing." Like, it's the fact that we're so this is probably the biggest release this year, even more than a little Mario game that came out not too long ago, that my daughter is so excited for on Friday. She's just like, "Is it Friday yet? Like, is the game out?" I'm like, it's coming. It's coming. I promise. Game comes out on Friday."
That's it. I think we wanted to provide that brand new adventure as well as referencing all the stuff you'd seen before, and then also give you the opportunity to, make up your own activities and adventures in the world thereafter, or even during. Like, you don't have to go and do the episodes. Like, they'll unlock more stuff if you do. But if you just want to, from the first episode, if you just want to run around the house, you can do that. You can go find lots of hidden things. Those little Easter eggs around the house. That's up to you. There's things to collect, things to unlock. You've got like the dressing up box, which will unlock the more like fun things you do in the house, the more collectible things you do. You collect stars, and then that will unlock some nice little costumes and like Muffins dress ups, pretty much. That
Muffin's
you can
the
then
greatest character ever invented.
yeah. I do, yeah. I knew your love for Muffin. It was like, I was listening to some of the responses to the trailers and stuff, and we're so glad that we've dropped Muffin in there as well in the story, and you get to interact with Muffin and have a great I think we've seen in the trailer already. What part of the story is rescuing Muffin from the top of the playground, which is really super fun. But that's it. We wanted, you said about like young children as well playing the game. That was the ideal idea from the get-go, really, is like having something that is, really light touch in terms of like tutorial. So the first episode, the first part of that does kind of teach you, well, actually every episode will teach you not only a game but a core mechanic as well from the world, and that will then help you then find more things throughout the house. Like you know, older gamers and people that explore more might be able to do those mechanics and find them around the house from the get-go. But if you play through the whole story, you'll have learned the toolkit that you need to then go and find everything. And we've tried to do that with like really almost no text in the game. Like there's like very little text. It's all like button prompts, and also a lot of the character dialogue as well comes back into either direct you in the right place, give you a reminder about where you should be going if you want to go off and do your own thing, and as well as the AI if you're not playing, if any of the characters, you can play 4-player co-op and you'll all take a character from the healer family. But if any of the characters are still under the AI control, they'll also kind of join in and help you kind of get through the levels. They might even like jump to the next platform for you, or help keep your uppy balloon up if you knock it over towards them. We've also, you might notice that characters kind of run ahead of you to show you the way if you need to go. So there's all those nice little touches that you don't, even if you're playing on your own, you don't feel like you're still playing with the family alongside you.
Were you aware of the amount of fan demand that there was? I know that the outright community has been encouraging your community managers, sometimes to their peril, posting like day 100 with Blue Dog.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, everyone thought
I'm very thankful he didn't quit.
Yeah, everyone was saying, "Was that me posting about it?" Because that was not, was that me asking for the game to come out internally at OG? But yeah, no, I guess like as you say, we've been working on this for a number of years now, like from the conception. Ever since I kind of jumped on, and we all had the idea that this is what we needed to. It would be a great game, but yeah, I think we just saw that momentum just snowball, and there was hey, it's not just kids that are fans of the show, and there's that vocal fandom. It's fantastic. We absolutely love it. I think the team in Spain actually were just the Artax Games who made the game, like just loved the show the first time they'd seen it, totally onboarded themselves with it, found all the episodes they could watch, and just saw it explode in Spain themselves, just noticing people going to the shops with bags, or and they were like holding on to this, the secret that they've been working on it the whole time, and they did a fantastic job. And just and now it's everywhere, and it's like and so it's not just in the UK, Australia, and the US, and that's it. So we've actually localized the game in 17 different languages. A number of those also have their original local voice cast as well for some of the roles.
Awesome.
There's kind of like a mixture of people reprising their roles in those regions as well, where best we could. So yeah, we hope it's the authentic Bluey experience for everyone as best as we could.
You mentioned that everybody was hiding it, which is great because it didn't leak. Like I said, people could guess it, but it wasn't like there was actual leaks of this game. It was just us as fans of the television show and knowing the great games you guys you all make, was just us harassing you pretty much just to make the game. And the good news is you're probably the whole time we're like, we're making it. Please just stop. Please stop.
No, it's great. That's it.
But was there any challenges in making the game? Like, does anything come to like, hey, we got to make sure because this is the IP became so big. Like, think about it, you started technically, as you said, you were working on it for years, and now it's on season 3. And like, I'm surprised it's not even getting a Christmas special this year. I'm still in shock. Like, I'm just like, this show is. I still think the reason most people get Disney Plus here in North America is because of Bluey right now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not a risk or it was a challenge for sure. But we loved the challenge. The more that we saw people take it on board, we just knew it's going to be so great when people get to see it. We knew as well that we could pick into things from the lore and episodes and see if people pick up on it as well as the obvious stuff. People I really hope that people take that time to look at the story and see what we've all those little Easter eggs that we've got in there. But yeah, it was great seeing that momentum from season 2. Yeah, we had to try and keep up with some of those. So we have tried to I think we've managed to get a few things in from season 3 in there. From that's it. It's just a massive. I think the only challenge we had is fitting it all in, right? So there's
So you're gonna
definitely going
tell
to
me
be
you're gonna make us cry? Because like season 3 was the most like heartfelt season
yeah.
of Bluey there is, man.
Well, I'd say with no spoilers here, but yeah, I think the story, yeah, hit some great beats. We've done our best in a video get to do it justice. It's, as you say, it's like that top tier television that we're trying to copy. So yeah, but I think we've done all we can to make sure there's a few emotions, a few feels in the story. But yeah, I think tried to dip into those things. I think that's the only thing that there'll always be something that we probably didn't. Someone's favorite characters, because there's so many characters, right? There's someone's favorite little Easter egg that we didn't put in. But hey, I think all the things that we have got in there, I think people are really going to love.
Is there anything you've learned while making Bluey? Because one thing we've noticed is that Outright continues to make strides with their games. Early Paw Patrol, PJ Masks, it's way different than newer games. What lessons did you pick up on with Bluey?
Yeah, I think Outright Games, like we're always like trying to learn. We've got a lot of us are quite getting on in the games industry years now, so we've got a lot of experience of how to make games for children. But that landscape's always changing. Children's attentions are different. Their devices that are picking up are different, and there's always children that have never played of the same age that have never played video games, and children of the same age that are like masters, better than me, and can beat you at most games. So yeah, I think it's like trying to have that broad spectrum of knowing just different. It's maybe not even like age, it's like ability range for anyone. So as we say, we tried to make the game accessible for the youngest player to the oldest player. Maybe the grandparents have never played before. Hopefully they can jump in and join in and play the game with children. And yeah, we're always learning, and we're taking on advice from every game. We learn something new. We sit down and we try to have play testing as well as we go through development and get that feedback. It's always so eye opening when you just see a kid jump on a game that you've got this perfect tutorial flow, and they just go the opposite direction. You're like, okay, great, all right, yeah.
Like,
You
they
can
just
never
broke the
really
game.
account for for like kids testing. It's great, and like we've got like little mini testers here, like my the lucky extended OG family that get to see a few things or we try things out on them. So yeah, we're always learning and adapting. I think that's what we try to do. I think we really appreciate that people are seeing that improvement over this this year's releases as well. I think the teams that we work with are just so talented as well. We're so lucky that the development teams, it's not just us at OG that do all the work. It's the guys and girls that are doing all the work to the development teams that and the standards are improving there. Yeah, it's a big family of people pulling in the right direction.
So did you Bluey is such a huge IP. Did you guys feel any pressure to like because you're even a fan of it? Because you're like, did you have
Yeah,
almost like
like
a perfection? Like you're like, no, it's gotta be this way. Cause like this is
well,
how the TV
yeah.
goes.
Yes, and I think like working with like Ludo as well, you saw that level of like how that's why it's so good, because they just they care about it, so we cared about it. I think the barometer was like if the kids are you sit down and you see the kids playing it, and if they've got smiles on their faces, okay, we've done a good job. I know, and then also I think there's something there to appreciate for parents and other older players. I think we it's like the way in which you guys review games, I think, is fantastic in terms of sitting there reviewing it for the target audience it's meant to be for, and putting it in that context is always super helpful. But yeah, we do hope this also reaches a little bit above that level of just that that key target audience. But yeah, that we all I think you're right. Like when you love something so much and you have that affinity for it, you do want to just go that extra mile. You just want to get that extra 10%. And I think that was exactly what the teams that all worked on this game, from the VO to the development to production, marketing, everyone's just like really tried to turn it up for this very special brand.
shared earlier that you got to work with the original voice actors. Now, I know in other outright games, it's not always the, which is fine, but the fact that you got the real voice actors is. Can you tell us your experience working with them? Like any fun stories? Like in
They're just
every
they were just great. Like they were just so they're just so good at the job. It's I think Dave, the sessions I got to sit on were with Dave McCormack, who plays Bandit, and Melanie, who does Chili. And like they were just like, and Dave is just like great. He was came in and just like, was exactly how you'd expect him to be. He was fantastic, really good fun, and like and Chili as well. Just reading those lines, it's like, you just instantly hear that voice and all those great lines that she's got to deliver in the previous episodes as well. Like, they're just so iconic. It was just a pleasure. Yeah, they were just so fun and so easy. They're just like, no great like big reveals of stories, but yeah, they were just
No,
it was just wicked. Really, it was just a pleasure. Like, to be honest, the time difference, it was quite early in the morning our time doing them. So like, but I was just happy, that they were there and we got them all. But yeah, I think that that really like pulled it together for us as well. When as soon as those voices dropped into the game, we were just like, oh my, this is special. Yeah, it just brought it all together. It's such a harmony of great talent, from the visuals to the writing to the to the acting. It's like just all comes together so well.
I'm still blown away that Dave's in that band. I finally like someone
Yeah,
sent me that
yeah,
clip, and I'm
yeah.
just like,
That's so
okay, so
good.
that's all right. So that band, he's in a
Bandits
band
in a
now.
rock band. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I know. Oh, it's
I
so
played
good.
it without the video for my daughter, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, Bluey's dad's yeah, he's Bluey's dad's in a band. Yeah, that's definitely how we're gonna go with that.
Why
Yeah,
have they not incorporated that? Just put the band in one of
Yeah,
the
band
episodes.
in.
Have that
Yeah,
be the
that would be
focus.
it would
so
be
good.
hilarious
Yeah,
to be totally honest,
I
or
love
even
that. I
put like
love
a
that.
little Easter egg in there.
Yeah, I think there's those great stories though that like that. Dave's always getting spotted everywhere he goes, or just his voice, and Melanie's just like stealthily going through life without no one knowing. Like no one. I think she was saying that on interviews recently. Like just walking past people in airports with all the backpacks and merchandise on, and they're unaware that Chili's just walked past them. That's so cool. Like that's just a superpower, really.
Well, it's
And
probably if they're, like, ordering a coffee somewhere, a kid, like,
yeah,
instantly the neck, like, the
yeah,
parent's not even paying
yeah,
attention, the
yeah,
kid just looks like, "Oh my god, something just happened. Someone
yeah,
Chili just talked. Where is she? Where is she?"
yeah. Was it like I think they only just met like last? I think it was this time last year. Like they did that Jimmy Fallon interview. It was awesome. That was the first time they've ever met in real life themselves. And yeah, I
I'm still
think
blown away that they were on, like, it's gotten to
yeah,
that point,
that's it. Yeah,
because I
that
remember
that's
watching Disney Plus, and that was, like, we
yeah,
found it, like, my daughter, we d made her profile, and you could have, like, the one show, and, like, she'd watched everything, and I'm like, "Alright, let's try this Bluey thing." Like, that's what it was. It was just like, "Let's" and then we
oh
watched it,
wow,
and we didn't stop. Like, because no
yeah,
one knew what it was here in North America. It wasn't like it had this any fandom behind it or nothing, and all of a sudden, I'm just like I'm messaging friends, I'm like, "Just watch Bluey. That's the show you can have your kid sit in front of the TV all day long as it's Bluey," because at least they're
yeah.
learning something at the same time.
I think that was a moment for me, like in the history of Blue, where you're like, who else gets voice actors on late night American TV shows? You're like, maybe maybe The Simpsons. I think before
Yeah,
probably
I think that's
that's
it,
it.
like, I
That's
do
it.
compare Bluey to The Simpsons because
Yeah.
it doesn't have the cartoon violence, because mind you, The Simpsons is getting rid of that now, right? So,
Yeah.
but it's the first show that I've seen on television since The Simpsons that can transcend their jokes, that
Yeah.
the same joke can hit for a kid, can hit for a parent, the exact same way, just because of the tone of, how Chili or Bandit delivers it. Like the unicorn, why should I care about that unicorn? Like, that is hilarious.
Universe.
My daughter jokes about and thinks that's hilarious, but that's like a parent, like, every now and then just like, "Seriously, stop it." Like, that's a parent getting its frustration out, but the kids
Yeah.
think it's hilarious, and so, like, jokes can hit on separate levels, which that's what I think is the great thing about Blue, or they can have let's be honest here, they literally there's an episode called Onesie that, like, it transcends everything. It never says
Yeah.
what it's about the whole thing. It never once, but just that image of her lying on the grass and you seeing the kid running away, just
Yeah.
like it destroys you. Like, it's just like, "Oh my god," but the kids don't get it. My daughter just thinks it's a happy episode about a kid turning into a onesie, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's just what it is.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think also, that idea of, it's the one show that, from my family as well, we'll all agree on watching. That's such
Yep.
a line I've heard so many parents or fans of Bluey say. And that was the idea with the game as well. Like, we want this to be the game that you could all sit down and play, and you're all happy to play together. I think that would be great if that's happening
Well,
in real life.
in my house, we have family fun night every Friday, and this
That's
Friday
awesome.
we'll be playing Bluey as a family.
Nice, fantastic.
100%. So the deal, as I alluded to, the show deals with a lot of very big topics, but that kids can understand. Did you put any of that into the game? Like, is there some? Like, I know I mentioned like the feel moments, but like, are there jokes that are the parent will get that the kid gets on a different level?
I think it matches. I think it matches the tone. There's some really nice moments. I don't want to give too much away because I think you really want to play it through it. But I think there is some really nice moments throughout, especially in the end of the story. I think we've got some really good moments. That helped us combine like the interactive elements of the story of a video game to the story. But I think for us as well, it's like, as we said, we want those moments to also be on the couch. That's where Bluey transcends. It's like you're watching it and you have the moment together. And I think they're the moments that we think can happen and occur. I think with the game, it's like those special moments for the family.
Without giving anything away, is there anything you wanted in this game? Any references?
Easter egg.
Anything? Exactly.
So I think I only realized recently about the long dogs in all the episodes.
Yes, I was going to ask about that. The long dog is in every episode.
Yeah, so that was like, wow, that was the one that we were like, oh man, that would have been such a cool thing to drop it. But I hadn't even, like, that is such a niche, like, hidden thing that I hadn't come across until really late, like this year. I think I'd realized that was
I
one of
literally
the
only
things.
realized about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so I was like,
Whole
that would have
Facebook groups
been,
about it.
yeah, that was the one I think where we were like, that would. But we've got so many other collectibles in the game. As I say, I think there was no way we could get everything in. We really wanted to, but yeah, we're hoping everything is there. People are gonna love and enjoy.
Well, it looks great. Like, I'll say this, like, I showed my
Yeah.
daughter the trailer and she was like, "Oh, that's just another episode." I'm like, "No, that's a video game. Like, you're gonna get to play that. You're just gonna control it." She's already been like, "I'm Bluey." I'm like, "That's fine. That's fine."
Yeah.
I'm obviously, I'm Bandit. It is what it is. The perfect
The
father.
The 2D style, I think, really fits. You guys really rocked it with Peppa Pig and Cocomelon being able to explore the house. Also,
That's great. Yeah. Go on.
Oh, go ahead. No, please.
Yeah, you asked I think maybe you're gonna ask the question I was gonna jump into.
How's the trophy list?
Trophy list is
That's
cool.
not the
Yeah,
question you thought you were gonna ask.
No,
He's like, no,
yeah.
that question stinks.
No, that's good. Yeah, the trophies are in there. Yeah, we've got progressed through the story, and you'll get quite a few of them. But yeah, there's definitely some nice hidden things for some of the other interactions that you can do around the house and all the different locations. So yeah, there's some like sports that you can do. There's some like things you can kick around and things. I reckon if you investigate enough, you'll find some nice little like hidden ones around there.
Platinum trophy.
Yeah.
All my right games have platinum.
Yeah.
I'm just
They all have a
You'd be
platinum.
surprised by how many devs don't.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'll just put a 1 gold trophy in.
It's about the story, man. It's not about the platinum.
I want to be one of the first.
So so that is one thing my daughter does have. My daughter was the first person in North America to get the platinum for Peppa Pig. I could still look
Nice.
it up. She was and she did it all on her own. And it's interesting. I think that she actually would have been the first person to get the platinum because, like, you can, as a parent, I can finish Peppa Pig in like 2 hours. But my daughter took she spent like 8 hours in the world. Like, she could just,
Yeah.
it took her a couple days, right? Because she's gonna do, as you said, they play the game different than we do. We're like, okay, we're gonna follow the mission structure. But I have a funny feeling with Bluey, my daughter is gonna she's gonna play the living daylights out of this game. As you said, if you can explore the house, she's gonna do that. She's gonna try and recreate parts from the TV show. And I think I'm sure that's what everybody at Outright's wanting. You're like, treat it like it's your own little sandbox of Bluey, right?
That's it. I think that's it's all about the journey, not necessarily the destination. I think
Yeah.
to sound like a Bluey quote. that's it. Like, if you want to play through and get through it, you can do that for sure. But once the story aspect's done, there's so much that you can then go and explore and do. And we hope, like, you create your own games within it, or have your own little, use your imagination to create your own little scenes, whatever you want to do in that sense. We know, just like the show, right? It's like you never just watch that episode once. The kids will watch it again and again. So, and the more times you watch it, the more times you play, I think you'll notice more and more, and get so much out of it.
Balloon sales about to go through the roof for Keepy Uppy. Watch on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
There's going to be a latex shortage.
Well, there's already a helium shortage right now, so it's just going to get worse.
No, that we're going to make it worse. Oh no.
Yeah. Or do you have any other final questions?
No, I thank you, Vince, for joining us. I just want to play the game. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like as much as like my daughter's excited for this game, like we've planned our Friday night in my house around playing this game as a family. And my wife's like, oh, like, no, it's fine. You could be Chili, I'll be Bandit, she could be Bluey. I'm like, my daughter's already joked. She's like, well, you can't play as Muffin. I'm like, I know you can't. It's fine. That's my character. I love the episode when Muffin doesn't want to do anything on the charades card except be the ballerina. I think it's just not about Muffin and just the attitude Muffin has. Like when she takes the cell phone from her dad, or the episode when she's like, I'm not special anymore, and she thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. I'm like, every parent has gone through that.
There's a lot of Muffin energy in the game. I think there's some I think you hit on some points there that you might see.
Muffin is chaos.
I love Muffin.
Vince, is there anything you want folks to know that we didn't touch on?
Yeah, well, I think one of the other one of the great things that we've done in the game, I think we're really proud about, was the house itself. So like, this is the first time people will be able to walk through the house like in its entirety, like in the the sandbox area that we have. So like, that was actually a really great process of the project, of working with Ludo to actually lay it out. Like it's a bit of a TARDIS, bit of a enigma of actually how the house is laid out. So we did our best with figuring out how it should be laid out, how it kind of looking at the different scenes and what rooms lead to what, and also trying to keep it in a nice shape so we could kids could navigate through it easily and also find their way around. So yeah, that was such a great process of working. We worked with one of the visual designers on the game called Daniel Sun. He worked on season 3, and we worked together on like how we map that out. And then it's really cool just to be like, oh wow, that room's there, and like you can go through and actually like, oh, okay, that's the. So like, I know I think people are already like comparing trailers to this show and seeing where we've got slight differences, but I think that there's love in the inconsistency, and sometimes that's kind of in keeping with the show itself. And I hope people really enjoy walking through the house and then also the other locations. So I think people have like seen it in the trailers already, the playground and the creek, and then the beach as well. And they've just all been brought to life so accurately. I think again the team at Artax have done just a fantastic job to bring that to life.
So obviously, Bandit's going to forget the sunscreen when they get to the beach.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, well, that's the scenarios that you can play out if that's that you want to, inhibit your inner bandit. I think that's the great thing with the co-op as well, right? There's nothing to say you have to play cooperatively. So if you want to do the proper bandit and knock the Keepy Uppy balloon the other side of the screen and make everyone's life a little bit harder, that's what you could do. You could choose, or role reversal. I know my kids want to play as the parents and I want to play as the kids. Like, that's always the way we want to do it. So yeah, it's up to you how you want to play it, for sure.
Again, thank you so much, Vince, for joining us. We know the game will be a lot of fun, and we're excited to see the work that you and the team has done, that Outright's done, and we can't wait for Bluey.
Fantastic. Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for your support, and yeah, all the great reviews, and and your time. We really hope all the family love it, and let us know how you get on.
For this, Bluey comes out. It's all consoles, right?
All consoles, yeah.
All
PS4, Xbox, yeah, all of it.
It comes out today, Friday, November 17th. It's going to be the game of the year 2024.
No, it is game of the year 2023. It's gonna be the
Well, I didn't know
it's
if it's like the
I think it's
Oscars.
hilarious because it
Yeah,
will
is it
be the
like? Yeah, I
game.
don't know.
The amount
Yeah,
of people at hockey where I was like, my daughter was talking about it, how at her birthday party, she was like, "Oh, we're all gonna get to play Bluey because her party's this Saturday, so the game comes out on Friday, so everybody will get to play it." And all the parents were like, "There's a video game?" Like, "Oh yeah." They're like, "Oh, I gotta go. Yeah, just go buy it. It'll be out. It comes out on Friday. Just go buy it. Just get
Such
it.
an
Just
influence.
make sure it's all under the." It'll be, I guarantee, every little Switch and every Nintendo Switch that's in a kid's hand at the hockey rink for the next little bit, are we gonna be playing Bluey or at Christmas time at least.
it's just that area of Canada. The sales are just going to be huge. That wonder.
Well, Black
I am
Friday,
in
Blue
shock
Friday.
how many people it's hilarious when the conversation around Bluey comes up and parents are just like, even my friends are like, "Oh, I don't let my kid watch TV, but I'll let them watch Bluey." It's like the one show they're like, "No,
Yeah.
it's fine." That they can watch as much as they want.
If you had fun today learning about Bluey the video game, make sure to check us out at youtube.com/3dadsandaconsole. You can also see more from us at 3dadsconsole.com with our impressions once we get our hands on the game. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, OG. We'll talk to you all soon.